all the way to Chicago. That's Heritage Unit 130.
自分で押さなきゃ私が押しちゃうの 片付けできないいけない癖がついに心も散らかしちゃってチラとチラとチラ忘れてるでしょ大切なことごまかして反省できないよお茶知らない嘘ごめん怒らないでねいつだって気になってるよかっこいいとこ見せてちょうだいそれだけで一生愛しあげちゃう頑張りリンドンリンドン鳴らそう明日を起こす呼び出しチャイム元気がお出迎えしてるピックアップでしてみほら笑えた本当は好きだよずっと前から大好きよ
Hello everybody, and welcome to Denver's Union Station.
Did.
This time, instead of the plethora of times that I've spent seeing Amtrak trains at the station and leave the station, we
One
are
sec.
actually going to board Amtrak's California Zephyr. We're going to be heading east towards Chicago. I have always wanted to go to Chicago for years
just
before this
go
trip
down a
began,
bit.
and a lot of media has actually inspired me to want to go to Chicago. But while we wait for the train, let's give a little bit of history of what this station is like, shall we? Union Station was built in 1881, and throughout the years served railroads like the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe, Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, Colorado and Southern, Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific, Union Pacific, the Denver and Rio Grande Western. It even saw iconic dignitaries such as Queen Maria of Romania, who was the last queen of Romania, President Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt going through the station. By the time Amtrak became a thing though, Union Station had reached an all-time low. Few trains, disused tracks, you name it. However, in the last 50 years, with support from Denver, Union Station has since been revitalized and has become a commuter rail hub. A light rail terminus was completely rebuilt with a new train shed and an underground bus terminal, and now serves Amtrak's California Zephyr, Winter Park Express, and the private tourist line Rocky Mountaineer has its Rockies to the Red Rocks train start at Union Station. Well, more like a bus picks up the passengers from Union Station towards a Denver rail yard. At 8:11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Amtrak's California Zephyr arrived at the station. The train usually backs in because this is a terminus station and there are bumpers at the end of the platforms. Unfortunately, at the time this trip took place, the train was going on a Kent weekly schedule? Anyways, a 5 times a week schedule because of a research in a new COVID variant. In the future though, Denver Union Station is planned to become a stop on the Front Range passenger rail service, which actually seems closer to becoming a reality than before. Who knows? Maybe in the future there would be a revived Desert Wind and or Pioneer, and maybe one or both trains could serve this station.
this time we are getting on the train. Sleepers.
We'll be riding in the transition dorm. That's the train, that's a car at the front of the train, before the baggage car. That's an A-line train right there. The A-line is RTD's busiest rail line, since it goes from downtown to Denver International Airport. Unfortunately, the traditional dining service on the Amtrak's long-distance train was killed by that spawn of the devil himself, Richard Anderson. However, at the time of creating this video, Amtrak management changed, and thankfully they are making an effort to bring back traditional dining service on all Amtrak trains. By that, I mean the long-distance train. Well, what do you know? On this trip, Amtrak's traditional dining service came back. Though at the time, only sleeper car passengers could have the traditional dining menus and services. This is the 3-course dinner menu. I had the salad, steak, and the cheesecake.
I'm still thinking, but maybe the flat iron steak or the salmon.
Though we barely managed to get to the dining car before, the dining car closed for the day.
Please make your way to the dining car at this time. Once again, any sleeping car passengers, please make your way to the dining. Thank you.
I also have my DSLR camera in hand, anticipating the train leaving while we were still eating.
You got vodka, you got gin, you got bakers.
Oh my god, we're too excited. Apologies.
No problem. First time in 30 years.
Oh, you else right now? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alright, where you're at?
Steak medium rare.
Thank you.
Can I get you anything else right now?
No, not right now.
Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you.
You a cocktail with
No,
us?
thank you, darling.
Alright. Okay, I might need a second.
Okay. How about your appetizers? You get crab cakes, salads, or tamale.
Can you give a signal?
Huh?
Did you hear the signal?
No, I thought the vibration meant horn's gonna blow. We depart. Not take off that. But I guess depart and take off would mean the same thing.
Actually, I don't think that's true. Does anybody in the comments know? Because I would really like to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please? This will be our last and final call for any of those sleepers that just joined us here at Denver desiring to have dinner. Last and final call, please make your way to the diner.
stop after?
Fort Morgan.
My lovely lady, is everything good?
Everything good, thank you.
Video.
A couple of minutes later, though, we departed, and the train on the other track right there is Amtrak's Winter Park Express. By this time, it had probably finished its last round trip. It was going to be taken to Chicago to have its equipment put on other trains for the summer and fall, and into December until the Winter Park Express would be brought back for the 2023 ski season.
I believe we can make some pick up some time.
Yeah, luckily, it's gonna be mostly flat all the way to Chicago. That's Heritage Unit 130.
The train also had Amtrak Heritage Unit 130 on it. Actually, there used to be another Phase 2 Heritage Unit that was numbered 66, but in 2016, it got into an accident where its main frame was terribly bent, and because of the Genesis locomotive's monocoque design, it meant that the repairs would be incredibly costly. Amtrak decided that it wasn't worth it to repair Amtrak 66. And that locomotive is still stored at Beech Grove to this day. Amtrak 130, though, was repainted from Phase 5 into Phase 2. And it still is to this day, and probably will be until they get replaced by those Chargers.
We got a long way to go.
That's the last day. They gave me a upswing. One at Grand Junction. I got that and Route 13 that came in like nothing was in that thing. Good thing is I didn't have that many people right now. Yeah, that's what I had coming through. Oh yeah, it is something I forgot I did. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I put some of them on. Yeah, I put some in there. I forgot all of that. Oh, cool. I might grab like 5.
Around here is BNSF's shop yards for its locomotives, as well as its own rail yard. I believe this rail yard was originally owned by the CNS, and maybe also served the AT&SF, as the AT&SF did have a line that go along the joint line to Denver. But now it's all BNSF.
Santa Fe all the way. 5991. $69.84. No wait, $59.84.
Take a moment to look at the instructions.
Gentlemen, is there anything I need to get for you?
No, not right now.
You good?
I'm good.
Everything okay with you, man? Thank Ladies, everything okay in here?
Oh, we're doing great. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug.
One car and going down. It's going to get colder overnight too, might get snowy, right? Make sure you're using caution. Yeah, lower level vestibule area may become a little light.
So I have a lot of experiences with
Of course. $59.86.
Your computer was turned around, it was turned around. So I was like, okay, good job.
$61.71. Okay, maybe we've got clearance now.
Maybe we got what?
Clearance now.
What does that mean? Lanes to go?
Yeah. Yeah, remember that one time we caught the Zephyr departing from that parking lot on the other side of that train? Yeah. Alright.
See stuff in that video?
Yes. Several things are still lighted.
I'm eating now, baby. You gave me a salad. Thank you.
While the area we're passing by is pretty dark, the area is actually the National Western Complex, or the Denver Stockyards. The Stockyards likely used to be an area in Denver where a lot of animals, farm animals would be traded and sold off or whatever. Nowadays though, it's home to the National Western Complex, and once a year in January, they have the National Western Stock Show. Yeehaw! Also, if you happen to be in Denver in January, you should definitely check it out. That station forms part of the N line. The N line goes all the way up to 124th Street in Thornton, Colorado, along a old Union Pacific branch that also had Union Pacific 844 go along the branch line during the 1960s and 1970s.
No vayan a hacer nada aquí.
Yeah, no, that'll be the next car.
No vayan a hacer nada aquí.
Yeah, tell the next car, middle of the car down.
Próximo carro.
¿Habla español usted?
Sí, señora. Sí,
¿Habla
señora.
español?
Sí.
Es que ya no queremos comida la de abajo. Es que tenemos 2 días y ya no nos gusta.
The lounge car.
But they can't eat here, right? No.
Aquí ya no hay nada.
Eso es lo que dicen ellos.
Yeah, they go to the lounge and the middle car downstairs. He may have small salads down there, I'm not sure what he has left, but yeah. They haven't opened
They
it
don't
back
like
up.
the food down there.
Yeah, they haven't opened it back up for the coaches yet. Since Corona.
By the way, they have since opened the dining car back up to the coaches. And I would make another trip later on that actually had the dining service that was open to the coaches. I of course mean the coach passengers, not the actual coach cars themselves.
They would shut that down. I think they would still do it.
Must be an oil refinery.
You want to keep staying here, or what do you want to do?
Let's go to the other car.
We then decided to go into the lounge car as we started to gain more speed and pass through Denver's suburbs.
the real joint sleeve.
See ya.
Eventually, though, I would go back into the rear two coach cars to go to the back of the train and try and film at the back. If the seats in the second coach cars look a bit different, that's because they are. Amtrak is actually refreshing a few of their old Superliner cars to make them last a little bit longer before they eventually replace them with a brand new long distance fleet. I then went back into the car that we were staying at and we began talking. Honestly, I seriously thought that the transition dorm cars were only for the crews, but it turns out that the cars were for both crews and passengers, not one or the other.
You know, for years I always thought the transition dorm was sealed off from passengers. Yeah, this is what cars call a transition sleeper car or transition dorm. Yes. There's one door on the top level on one side of the car and another door on the bottom level on the other side of the car. One door on the same level on both ends. But the exterior is the same car, just bigger than the interior. Yes. Where's the actual additional door? No, two doors, not three. No, two. Is it like, we got two car? Yeah. Would it be same door? Yes. One door on one end. It's all one of those older. Maybe this one of those arcade coaches.
Our talking then turned into us making a reference to Monty Python. We love Monty Python.
I'll do what I want to do. You're not going to tell me what to do, you oppressor. Don't oppress me, mate. Who do you think you are? Well, I'm your king. I didn't vote for you.
Well, you don't vote for kings.
You must be seated in the
How'd you get to be a king then?
The Lady of the Lake.
Please don't move around seats during the night.
Well, listen. Strange woman in pawns going about swords is not a basis for a system of government.
We will not be making any announcements during the night. This is
Supreme executive power and
Derived from mandating the masses, not some farcical flag ceremony. I mean, you can't expect to wield supreme executive power. Just some watery talk through a sword to you.
Once again, our next station.
I mean, if I went around telling everyone that I'm an emperor just because
They put me away.
they'd put me away.
Our next station stop coming
Shut
up
up.
here is under 10 minutes.
Oh, now it's in power today.
I order you to shut up.
Train upon arrival into Fort Ward. Thank everyone for choosing Amtrak. We do hope you have a pleasant evening.
No problem, sir.
It was getting pretty dark, and Dad and I eventually decided to call it quits after we left Fort Morgan. Next morning, we find ourselves in Iowa, and right now we're actually in the dining car ordering breakfast.
Oh, brilliant. You're here. Look there. I think that could be... a orange juice, please. I saw some smoke or steam or whatever it is coming out of a lot of smoke or steam coming out of a stack over there at that built facility or whatever it is. Maybe it could be grain related. And I said the EPA is not going to be happy about that.
Thank you very much. See you later. Thank you very much. See you later. Thank you. Come on down, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pops had the scrambled eggs while I had the French toast.
Yum.
I already done it. There you go, love. Have a beautiful one. See you sometime. Thank you. I'll be back.
Here we're in Creston. Maybe this is a stop. Yeah, I saw an Amtrak Creston stop.
I didn't approve this stuff.
No wonder the train was starting to slow down.
I never seen that.
If you didn't sign off on that, maybe you should be in charge of Amtrak.
How about coffee, guys?
We can stay.
What's that train in down? That's illegal?
Kind of the center road there right now through the police gas station. Same recipe. I'd sell it. I did not confused about it. I'd sell it and to do the same thing. You know, what are you doing? Maybe I'm so since I was
Today lunch will start at 11 o'clock a.m. 11 o'clock a.m. Prepared. Once again, lunch will start at 11. First come, first served. Thank you. Please let me know when you're done.
I then went back into the sleeper car we were staying in before we made it to Ottumwa. That line over there was once owned by the Milwaukee Road, but then after the Milwaukee Road went bust, it was owned by the IC&E Railroad, and then the Canadian Pacific bought out the IC&E, and now the Canadian Pacific is now CPKC. Though, why CPKC and not CUSAM or something? We're now in Ottumwa, Iowa, and from the looks of it, the station has not changed in years.
Hey, how long is this stop?
About 5 minutes.
Alright.
While we're stopped in Ottumwa, I took a look at the lead locomotives. The leaders were Amtrak P42 DC locomotives numbered 45 and 202. 45 is the older of the two, having been built in late 1996. As part of the batch of P42 DCs that were built between 1996 and 1997. 202 was built in 2001 for a batch of P42 DC locomotives that were built in 2000 and 2001. Eventually, though, Amtrak hopes to displace these P42 DC locomotives with ALC 42 Chargers.
Sorry.
How was it?
Good.
While the station hasn't changed much at the time of our visit, eventually though, Amtrak is planning to upgrade the station with ADA compliances. Or so I've seen from a news article that I read somewhere.
Oh, now we're moving.
What?
Oh, hi, rail.
Hmm?
I said we're moving, and then a high rail went by. It's like a truck it's like a pickup truck that can ride on train tracks. With wheels that can let it ride on train tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, my heavy attention. Once again, the best station stop was the Ottumwa. Mount Pleasant is next. Mount Pleasant is next. In about 40 minutes.
Australia, Switzerland, Swedish, Thai, Italian, American, Belgium, Finnish, I think Puerto Rican, and some other flags right there.
See if those cookies help.
All right.
Get something.
Burlington Junction. That sounds like chugging. That means the train's speeding up. Eventually, though, we got to Mount Pleasant, Iowa.
Here we go, once again, Mount Pleasant, our station stop. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? This will be first call for lunch service in the dining car. First call for all sleeping car passengers only. First call.
Here we go. Hey Dad, how was your stretch?
It was good. Hey, so they're saying first call, but I'm not so hungry, and I'm thinking about getting a quick shower. So I don't know what time we're getting in. Let me just check what time we're getting in.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the last station stop was Mount Pleasant. Burlington, Iowa is next. Burlington, Iowa is next in about 25 minutes.
That'll be quick.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, my heavy attention. Once again, Burlington, Iowa, our station stop coming up. Burlington, Iowa is next. So once again, please check around your seat for your personal belongings. And thank you for choosing Amtrak. And we would like to apologize for the delay and any inconvenience. And we thank you for your patience. Burlington, Iowa, coming up.
Hold up a minute!
Wow, an H2 GEVO.
That's what I thought.
Anyways, this is Burlington, Iowa, the last stop before we cross over into Illinois. And coincidentally is partially how the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy got its name. I then switched back to using the DSLR camera.
Track mark number 730-39.
That there is a drawbridge for the BNSF. That bridge actually used to be a swing bridge, but in the 2010s, BNSF rebuilt that bridge into a double-tracked drawbridge, as the previous swing bridge was single-tracked.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? At this time, we're going to cross the mighty Mississippi River. Once we get on the other side, we'll be in Illinois and leaving Iowa behind us. So once again, at this time, we are crossing the mighty Mississippi River. Once we get on the other side, we'll be in Illinois and leaving Iowa behind us. And Galesburg will be next. Galesburg will be next in about 45 minutes.
The Mississippi River is an important waterway for America, as a lot of Midwestern grain and crop traffic would often be transferred along the Mississippi River to ports along the U.S. coastline. Shipping by boat is actually a bit cheaper than shipping by rail, which is why there are a lot of boats and whatnot along the Mississippi River.
Passengers, if you are looking for snacks and beverages on the lower level of the observation car. The car directly in front of the coaches, in the middle of that car on the lower level is where you'll find snacks and beverages.
With the crossing over the Mississippi River, we are now in Illinois. Before we got to Galesburg, we went into the dining car for lunch. I had my camera on and recording, anticipating us going underneath the Santa Fe, the former Santa Fe mainline.
That was a good snap, see? Right. I get a job next time. Yes, you may, darling. I will hire you any day. Everything okay here? Beautiful. How about here, guys? Everything good?
Yep.
I know, they held it. They held it all the time. I'm defeated when it comes to those flowers.
Chicken. It's good, huh?
Yep.
Welcome to Galesburg.
Too much in it.
This town is a town of about 30,000 people as of the 2020 census. And this is one of the first stops where we meet Amtrak's Southwest Chief, Illinois Zephyr, and Carl Sandberg. The Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway had its main line go through Galesburg, while the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy had several routes that went through Galesburg and branched out of Galesburg. There's also a small museum at Galesburg that has CB&Q 464 number 3006, and also here is a camera for Virtual Railfan. The BNSF actually had its own station in Galesburg, but that was demolished after Amtrak rerouted its Southwest Chief from the Mendota onto the Mendota sub from the Chili Coffee sub.
I know what it looks like.
I just realized that we're gonna cross the rail line.
This small town is Mendota, Illinois. It actually is a stop for the Carl Sandburg and the Illinois Zephyr, but not for the Chief or the CZ.
4978.
There's also a small railroad museum there that includes a former CB&Q 282 Mikado. We then arrived and departed from Princeton Station.
Wow, that was quick.
Here we go. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the last station stop was Princeton. Naperville is next. Naperville is next. 1 hour and 10 minutes. After Naperville will be Chicago. So, less than 2 hours to Chicago. And this time, only if you don't have any delays.
loud.
This is Aurora, Illinois. There used to be a stop for Amtrak trains here, but that stop has been discontinued since 1983. Also at Aurora is the first sighting of Metra. Metra is Chicago's commuter rail system, and the name is short for Metropolitan Rail. Metra's BNSF West Line terminates here at Aurora.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, my heavy attention. Naperville is our next station stop, coming up less than 10 minutes. Naperville is next, less than 10 minutes. So please check around to see for your personal belongings. And thank you for choosing Amtrak. Naperville is next.
He means Naperville. Is that how it's pronounced? Or did she pronounce it the right way?
Afternoon, sir. What line is that? That's over. Kansas City, sorry. Union Pacific. Minnesota, CM, MS, CSX. Good morning.
This is Naperville, Illinois. It is one of the last stops on the California Zephyr before Chicago. In 1946, however, there was a terrible crash between two Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy trains. The first train, an advance flyer, stopped at the station because of a issue with one of the cars. And the exposition flyer that was behind it didn't know about it and hit the rear of the advanced flyer. And because of that, all trains in America are only set to 79 miles per hour unless they had expensive technology. Thanks, ICC, I hate you! Oh, the ICC doesn't exist anymore.
To go only 79 miles per hour. Unless there were big upgrades with big safety things.
Sorry about that. It's just that hearing about the crash makes me angry because that crash is kind of what killed the original American passenger trains. But there is hope. When I was reading this article on the High Speed Rail Alliance website where it talked about the Lincoln service, the section on the Lincoln service opening to 110 miles per hour, it talked about how it quote-unquote creates a path for approving IETMS, which would be a standard safety system on America's railroads for faster trains. If this is a sign that installing IETMS raises the speed limits on America's passenger trains, then I would really like to know.
Naperville, Chicago Station, our final destination. We should be there in about 35-40 minutes. Once again, Chicago Station will be next. So now, it's a good time to look for your personal belongings, get your things together. Once we get to Chicago Station, the power is going to go up for about 2-3 minutes. So now it's a good time to look for your personal belongings and get your things together. We have 1 engineer and 2 engines, and we have to put the power in the standby mode. So, our train is coming on track 30, track 30, west side unloading, away from the river. Left side.
Eventually though, we made it to Chicago, and this is the Amtrak Chicago yard. This yard is also where a lot of the Amtrak trains that serve this station would be serviced and prepped for their next journeys. At the time of recording, there were a couple of her Siemens Venture cars that had just entered service, but by the time I got to Chicago, they were in the sidings already because of some issues with the brackets. However, those issues with the ventures have since been resolved, and more ventures are coming online every month. So far, 43 ventures are in service, with more as well as the cafe cars expected soon. There are also a couple of Siemens Chargers here, SE44s, that are used for the short-distance state-sponsored trains.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I have your attention. Chicago Station, our final destination. We should be there in about another 5 minutes. So once again, Chicago Station is next. Please check out the seat for your personal belongings. And thank you for choosing Amtrak. Chicago is next. Please remain seated until final stop at the station. And we thank you for your cooperation.
We finally arrived at Chicago's Union Station. It was built in 1925 and at one time served the Burlington, Gulf of in Ohio, Milwaukee Road, Pennsylvania, Great Northern, and Northern Pacific. And it is still busy to this very day, with Metra trains and Amtrak trains coming and going every single day. Who knows, maybe in the future there will be more Metra and Amtrak trains, if not a few private railroads.
Oh, here we are, Chicago. Hopefully you can exit here, unlike Detroit.
Man, I regret saying that, but maybe that'll be a different video. As for here, we've made it to Chicago. Next time, we ride the CTA and Metra and visit the Museum of Science and Industry. Look forward to that. As for the rest of my audience, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good day.